The Long Island Lacrosse Showcase has been the premier recruiting event in the nation for over a decade. Led by high school coaches in Nassau and Suffolk counties, our event annually draws the biggest and best college coaches. Past participants and MVPs have been Joey Spallina, Mac O'Keefe, and Xavier Arline. Registration is now open for this must-attend summer event. Register now at lilacshowcase.com and follow us on Instagram at lilacshowcase. And coming this fall, for the first time, our Girls Showcase.
Varsity Media offers live streaming, videography, and photography services for all teams and individuals of all ages. In business since 2010, we are the trusted source when it comes to sports media coverage. If you have a big game that needs to be filmed or live streamed, or an athlete in need of action photography, reach out today and save 15% when you mention this ad. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. It's an after-school special in Nassau County. Where else would you want to be? We're live at Mark Martone Field for today's boys lacrosse matchup, featuring the Plainedge Red Devils and the Carey Seahawks on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And a pleasant good afternoon, everybody. Alongside John Geegan, I'm John Perez, and it's a great rivalry here in Class CD as the Red Devils of Plainedge take on the Carey Seahawks. Plainedge comes into this game 11-4, as is Carey. A lot of parity here, John. It's a good matchup, local rivalry. These two teams feel that they could make some noise towards the end of the season. This game has a lot of implications playoffs-wise, and they feel they want to have their best shot, too, of course, at Cold Spring Harbor and Manhasset, 1-2 in the Conference CD standings.
Absolutely. It's a special season for both teams. They're both having great years, both, identical in the records, and I know that if Plainedge wins this game, they're looking at the 3 seed. I know it's important for Carey as well, so they're not taking anything off today. They're not sitting back and casually gliding into the playoffs. They're going to be going after it full tilt, and I think we're going to see a great game.
Plainedge looks to leap over Wantagh. They beat them earlier this year as Carey looks to win on Senior Day. Let's start with Plainedge, the Red Devils, and our two impact players who we'll see today, two household names for the Red Devils. It's Caden Mora and Braden Donnellan. One going to Adelphi, the future Panther in Donnellan, and Mora headed upstate to Cortland. They bring so much explosiveness on the offensive end for the Red Devils.
Absolutely, and I know Coach Ancona thinks that when his offense has the ball, that's the best defense they have. He's a senior-laden team. A lot of seniors up and down this roster. He's had them since they're around sophomore year, and so this is a big year, big time to make a statement, and these two players are keys to that success today.
It's been a huge revolution, especially for the sophomore class, as Mora comes in with 62 points, and he's an anchor on that left side. So that was Mora and Donnellan. Let's meet the rest of the Red Devils and their starting lineup as they'll roll out against Carey. It's Mora Donnellan, Travis Aquilina, who is the third man to that three-headed monster, Owen Donnellan, Jack Murray, Domenico Moscato, otherwise known as Demo, Jake Anglum rounds out the midfield with Joe Cassess, Matt Chadwick, and TJ Chadwick anchoring the defense. And, of course, Chris Santa Crochet in net for Plainedge. You already saw him on Varsity Media's social media pages. He just made a couple of big saves the other day using his helmet, but he's someone that's so good in between the pipes, a stalwart for the Red Devils.
Yeah, as a Red Devil alum myself, love seeing a solid goalie in there, 3-year starter going to Limestone. And there's been a couple other great goalies in the history of Plainedge lacrosse. So great to see that he's carrying on that tradition. I know he's that kind of old school style goalie in every sense of the word, where you can't talk to him before a game. You got to let him do his thing and go get ready.
So we'll see if he passes the Geoghegan test the rest of the way. That's Plainedge. Let's meet Carey and their impact players who we're going to watch today on Senior Day. And, of course, they are the mainstays this year offensively. Matt Metzger, the future setter for Pace. He's got 49 points on the year. And Chris Todaro, only a sophomore, but lighting up the stat sheet this year.
Yeah, Metzger's an impact player. Those numbers are huge for Carey right now, and it's a situation with him that when he's rolling, their offense is rolling, and that's what they need. He's got to get out, get going early today, and get some offense started. And then as far as Todaro goes, those sophomore numbers are just as good as about any sophomore on Long Island. So, a player that is not playing as a sophomore, it's always great because he's going to be someone there for years to come for Carey.
Tom Aiello leading the squad for Carey. You just saw his top two players offensively. Let's meet the rest of the starters for the Seahawks. Metzger and Chris Obertus, along with Ethan Pelzer in the attack. Todaro, Mike Versarosa, as well as Christian Korslowski and Ben Rose. On defense, James Gangon, TJ Wakely, Billy Kutsumbaris, and Michael Luzinski. And they'll lead it off to their goalie, Rich Metzger, only a sophomore, almost a 63% save percentage. He's got 136 saves this year, and he's been a great stopper and competitor, says his head coach, Tom Aiello.
Yeah, you can't say enough about those numbers as a sophomore. It's always tough when you move up, and other positions you see come up as sophomores, but the game always moves fast for a goalie going up to that next level. So to have these type of numbers as a sophomore, it's incredible, and I'm sure we're going to see fireworks from him for years to come.
It's the Red Devils and the Seahawks, and it's all coming up next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. Now is the time to order a college recruiting video with Varsity Media. College recruiting videos can save thousands of dollars on college tuition and help land a spot on the team. Our videos include your best plays set to music with spot shadowing effects to help you stand out from the competition. Contact Varsity Media today and mention this ad to save 15%. Call 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net. Varsity Media offers live sportscasts for any event. Our productions include announcers, multiple camera angles, graphics, instant replay, and so much more.
Hankinson getting it back. Hankinson going in, dropping it back. The shot of the goal! That's it! That's it! Norton! Pittsburgh, the Class A champions!
If you want to enhance your event or make the experience better for your viewers, reach out to Varsity Media today and learn more about our live sportscast. Contact Varsity Media at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
We welcome you back to Mark Martone Field, the home of the Seahawks, as Carey on Senior Day looks to knock off Plainedge. Both of these teams 11-4 overall, 4-3 in division play, as they look to shore up the regular season on a high note and move up in the standings, and they both feel they've got their best shot against Manhasset and Cold Spring Harbor, but that's a future problem. This is what is happening today. Keys to the game, Plainedge and Carey. Pretty simple if you look at it on both sides, John.
Absolutely. These are the basics. And for a good team, you have to do the fundamentals well. If you don't execute on those, it doesn't matter how many EMO or EMD wins you have there. You have to be able to execute on the basics. And a big tilt like this, if you're not winning the ground ball war, you're not looking to dominate time of possession, you're going to be packing with your bags real quick.
And like you saw there for Carey, dominate the time of possession. They don't mind slowing it down if they have to, especially against a Plainedge team that can light it up like there is no other, as two teams getting set to go and a couple of dotting the T's and crossing the I's. And, earlier today was Senior Day for Carey, and they had a nice little ceremony for the Seahawks. And here are the images ahead of time. There is Tom Aiello. 9 seniors today for Carey. And being honored, that's Gianluca Magliaro, along with his mother, sister, and father. And just all smiles all around, playing in their final home game of the season. And Matt Metzger, what a season he's having. And He's hoping that this is just the beginning of the next season as we get set to go. The opening faceoff, and Carey wins it and slings it down to the other side. Good job there by Carey, as that was Ben Rose, the faux goal.
Yeah, first possession, senior day. There's definitely some emotions involved in today. They both teams need to win this game, so it's important you come out, you get settled in both your offense and your defense. You want your goalie to get a save under his belt, get going and running, and get your offense clicking. So let's see how they both settle in right now. And the key is no easy turnovers, no easy or costly mistakes as you get out the gate, and don't want to be chasing from behind to start the game.
Carey, like we just said, not afraid to slow it down and look for the right shot, and that's been a big reason why they've won 11 games this year. Not an easy thing to do, especially when you've got some of the power teams in not just the state but the country in your conference. As Carey coming off an 8-2 loss to Cold Spring Harbor just a few days ago. That was a loss that snapped an 8-game winning streak, including a 14-5 win over Malvern East Rockaway, as they were humbled by the Seahawks of Cold Spring Harbor and look to get on the board first.
Yeah, tough loss there for Carey, but it's always important, I say, like we were looking at the Manhasset loss where they lost that perfect season to Chaminade earlier this past weekend. And going into the playoffs, sometimes it's important to learn how to lose. And it's a lot easier to break down film from a loss than it is for a win, where some of those mistakes get kind of brushed under the rug. So I think it's important that they learn from it and see how they bounce back today.
Off the bounce, it's Plainedge. Jack Murray, the senior, 36 points on the season, pushes the agenda for the Red Devils. And a little bit different, too, for the Red Devils, and what a resurgence it's been over the last 2 years, specifically Joe Ancona. 300 career wins, most of them with the Red Men over at East Islip, and coming over now as a Red Devil has the program in the right direction.
Absolutely. I mean, he's a legend over there at East Islip, and he's had his hands on so many great players that have gone on to bigger and better, lacrosse, college and pro level to style games. So Plainedge is lucky and privileged to be able to have a coach like him on their sidelines. And I know from my days at Plainedge, they started the youth program years back, and any big town that really does well at the high school varsity level, the key is having a strong youth program.
And right in front, Plainedge opens up the scoring. Nice wicked shot. Looks like it was Chris Tadaro, or check that, Braden Donnellan, who has really been an anchor on the right side of the cage. 72 points coming into today as Owen Donnellan set it up, finds its way around. And from X, Caden Mora behind the back, fantastic finish for Mr. Donnellan. His 29th goal of the year, and Plainedge leads it 1-0 early on.
Highlight reel goal there to start the game. Great feed from Mora. He's looking right through, seeing that he's available, and hits Braden as he cuts right down behind the back. Sometimes not always the shot you want to take, but that situation, his hands were getting a little jammed up. He needed to put it behind the back to get that better angle, and he finishes it.
135 points between those two. And of course, who else for Plainedge? Those two have really been the anchors on the attack, and a team that certainly slow it down, has the lead, and looking for the right shot now, and a good start for the Red Devils on the road.
Yeah, exactly what you want. You get out, you move the ball around, get everyone to touch, and you have a nice open look. You take it, handle it, and bury it. So great start for Plainedge, and hopefully their offense continues to click for them.
Owen Donnellan, only a sophomore, the younger brother for Braden. Up top on the swing move, that's Braden Donnellan. Another shot and a nice save. Rich Metzger with the denial.
What a save by Metzger. That's huge. I liked what Carey was doing. They're not crazy overextending on the defense, making Plainedge come to them a little bit. And Plainedge, because of that, got a nice opportunity, but huge save right there by Metzger. Going down from high to low, changing the level. That's a tough one to make. Big save.
Plainedge also coming off a loss to Cold Spring Harbor just a couple of days ago, Friday night, an 11-6 win for the Seahawks. Plainedge in the 2 games before then knocking off Oceanside and Mineola, both one-sided affairs, and of course never easy when you face Cold Spring Harbor, and both of these teams can attest to that as Plainedge looks to bring it across the field.
solid ride there by Carey. You know, number 9, Chris Obertus, he was really chasing everywhere, making it hard on Plainedge to get that clear. And that's important because you see great teams like Notre Dame right now, Division I. They're known for their ride, and they create so many opportunities off the ride. And in high school, where the stick skills aren't always as strong, it's even more important that you're relentless on the ride. So kudos to the Carey attack there, not giving up and letting the ball go the other way.
Well, and Carey's defense gets the stop. Gangon takes a slip and then has some words afterwards as his helmet comes ajar. Speaking in the direction of Jack Murray, thought he had a hold, and Carey with the restart, and that's Verderosa.
Yeah, as you said, I think it's important Carey, has this possession here.
Off the crossbar on the bounce. Bouncing shot by Verderosa, looking for his 30th point of the year. And, of course, as you know, John, sometimes the post and the crossbar can be a goalie's best friend.
Absolutely. That was a great take. He had him beat there. So just a high to low shot there, changes the levels, gets the crossbar there. So it's a tough save to make, and unlucky for Carey there.
Goronski clears, and now it's Owen Donnellan deferring to the far side. 1-0 lead for Plainedge. Braden Donnellan on the pretty feed from Caden Mora. An even prettier goal. Donnellan went behind the back.
And you mentioned, at the start of this game that time of possession is going to be key. And even we talked about looking at some of this first-round Division I play. Even the little mistakes can come back to bite you with some of the best teams. So a game like today, the team that makes the fewer mistakes, I think, is going to be probably the one that has the advantage at the end.
Definitely is that pass. Nice jump catch by Donnellan. Keeps it alive and avoiding the turnover. Now slips his defender. Tries to knife it underneath, but goes right into the stick of Metzger.
Yeah, a little ball side pick there. Carey's defense doesn't get caught up with the pick. They're great at stepping off there, and they close up the gap to prevent any easy look at Metzger in the goal.
There's Tadaro. Circles back, and he'll run the show.
And I know that, Plainedge can run both a man, and Coach Ancona is known in Suffolk for his zone defense, but he's a player's coach, and he allows the team to dictate and have input on what they run, what they're comfortable in throughout the game, which is huge because you want your team to buy into whatever system they're running. And if they're confident in there, that's a huge part mentally to get that edge to execute on the field.
Christian Korzlowski, the sophomore, dangling. Big dodging midi. Gives off to Verderosa. Verderosa, quick shot and a goal. Mike Verderosa scores his 18th goal of the year, and we're tied up at 1.
Great take by Verderosa. Solid dodge, he had there. I think they started out, looked like kind of like a 1-4-1 they had set up. And Verderosa makes sure his team gets set. You have the clear through, and he's obviously pulled. He's dodging the pole, coming down the alley hard, gets his hands free, and buries it. Tough one there for Plainedge. They had the hands on him, but a great shooter like Verderosa, you probably got to get a slide and get him pushed out of that shooting area.
30 points as a sophomore. I think any coach would sign up for that. And somebody who Aiello says has a great motor, doesn't like to come off the field. And, hey, when you're putting up the numbers that he's putting up, I wouldn't want to come off the field either.
Absolutely. That's you use him, and he's comfortable. You got to check in with him. Sometimes you have to force him to rest on the other end here and there. But as long as he's good to go, you get what you can out of him, especially a player like that. It's a spark, and when he's not on the field, the presence is noticed.
This is John Mooney. Only a freshman. The handoff up, shot and a goal. And Plainedge goes back in front. Scintillating shot. Travis Aquilino, the senior, nets his 32nd of the year. And just a couple of seconds later, Plainedge with the response.
Yeah, big possession there, big response. Plainedge is doing a bit of ball side picks here, so that's what you see. They move the ball back and forth, and they're just picking on the ball to get Carey, crossed up a little bit. Carey does a decent job with their shorties, but just pick the pole, get your shooters hands free. Great high to low shot, tough one from about 12. Big shot there, great rip.
Aquilino was starting midi the last 2 seasons, but moved to attack this year, and that's really allowed the offense to be more free-flowing and a much more fluidity to his game. He'll be headed to Adelphi next season. Adelphi getting to the NCAA tournament this year and keeping some local talent home nearby in Garden City.
Yeah, and Coach Purdy there is no stranger to recruiting out of Plainedge High School. He's got some good, different midfielders, the Rossies, Kennedy, a couple other great names from Plainedge lacrosse history have gone on to do some great things at Adelphi.
Matt Metzger looking for his 50th point of the season. Drops it off, and here comes the double, and the defense swarms and forces the turnover. Chris Obertus nowhere to go.
Yeah, Chris Obertus sticks his nose in there. I like that style of attack play, but Plainedge's defense, wow, they just closed the door on them. No opportunity. Obertus in any other situation would probably have a good look to just dunk it in there, but Plainedge just swarmed him, and the biggest key there is that's usually a situation where you'll see a defenseman commit a foul or penalty. They went in there, closed the door, got the ball, no fouls, clean. Love it.
Plainedge takes a timeout, and we'll take it with them, as it's a 2-1 lead for the Red Devils on the road on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. Now is the time to order a college recruiting video with Varsity Media. College recruiting videos can save thousands of dollars on college tuition and help land a spot on the team. Our videos include your best plays set to music with spot shadowing effects to help you stand out from the competition. Contact Varsity Media today and mention this ad to save 15%. Call 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net. 2-1 lead for Plainedge on the road late in the first quarter. And, of course, we're happy to have Savario's Pizza Napolitano as one of the official food sponsors for today's broadcast. Pork stores and fine foods located in Massapequa. Give them a call today, 799-4332, to place your order today. Well, there's Joe Ancona, and what a job he's done over the last few years. And, it's interesting when you look at the history of Plainedge, right? And not to compare different sports, but sometimes you need the right coach to come in to build a program and a foundation. We've seen it on the football field with Coach Shaver. Now Ancona looks to replicate it and make Plainedge the power that it could be.
Absolutely, and I fully believe he's the right guy for the job. He actually coached my college roommate, Brian Wynn from Manhattan College, and he was on his sidelines, and Brian has nothing but great things to say about how lucky Plainedge is to have this type of guy on the sidelines. And not to mention Coach Shaver, probably the best coach I've ever had in any sport, and he's just an absolute Hall of Fame legend. He does amazing things with the young men of Plainedge, and lucky to have him there too.
Rich Metzger makes the stop on Dom Moscato, affectionately known as Demo, really taking more of a role as the face-off midi for the team this year, and third piece in the starting midfield unit, as they'll go right back to the Red Devils. 2:30 to play in the first.
Yeah, Red Devils doing a good job riding. Carey having a little trouble clearing early on. That they're making some saves, absolutely, and it's impressive. But need to clean up the clearing game a bit, because no matter how many times you save the ball, they're going to come back at you.
Off the bar, a laser off the stick of Owen Donnellan, but it plops right back out to the midfield, and Plainedge so close to taking a 2-goal lead.
What a shot by Donnellan. That came out quick, and I talk all the time that there's quick shots and hard shots, and that one had a little bit of both on that one for sure. You saw the net move.
Donnellan again. Slows it down with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Operates from X, looks to facilitate. Up top, Mora. Mora, the dodge in the goal. Caden Mora. His second point of the game, 34th goal of the year. 3-1 Plainedge with just over 100 seconds to go in the first.
Well executed offense there by Plainedge. What I think is really important is when you're attacking one side, good coaching teaches you to look opposite and look away from the ball. Big skip pass over the top right there, and Moore catches it there from Donnellan. Over the top look, great vision, and buries it.
Well, we mentioned how big this game is for playoff seedings, and we'll take a look at the standings in the second quarter. But the way it is right now, Plainedge currently with the lead in 5th place. Would, of course, have some advantage over the tiebreaker in power points if they were to get this victory here today. And looking to become the number 3 seed, especially after knocking off Wantagh, a team that knocked them out of the playoffs last year, returning the favor in a small way in the regular season. But, of course, John, you know, all that matters is the postseason.
Yeah, you got to be playing your best lacrosse at the end of the season. Doesn't matter what you did in the first couple weeks. The end, how you finish the season matters, and to start that kind of second season. And speaking of that, both teams right there, that last play, loose ball, little transition situation. I loved what both teams actually did. Plainedge hustled. I think they had almost 5, if not all 6 guys in the hole right away. And Carey, on the other hand, they looked to push transition. They saw the opportunity wasn't there. Instead of forcing something, they pull it out and run their offense.
Verderosa, responsible for the only goal today for Carey. Looks for another one. Save down low, Santa Croce.
Big save, Santa Croce, going from high all the way around the world down to that low, getting a piece, popping it up. Unfortunately, not getting the rebound, so it's staying with Carey.
35 seconds to go in the first. Another save, Santa Croce. Not sure if Plainedge had a hand on it. That was Jackson Goronski's stick in there, but Plainedge now with possession and can try and play for the final shot. Take a 3-goal lead going into the second quarter.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that take there by Metzger, because he looked through, and it's a heads-up play. He was looking into the Plainedge defense, and there was no slide really there backing his man, so he got a step on him, turned the corner top side, and took a shot.
Infraction there, gives it to Carey.
Yeah, unfortunate mental error. Looks like Plainedge went off sides, didn't have their third man back there, and it's going the other way.
As Carey winds down the clock, Metzger crosses midfield, but Plainedge, the Red Devils, coming to Mark Martone Field and putting on a show. As this was Owen Donnellan, and it leads to the first goal and a fantastic behind-the-back finish for Plainedge, as they are cruising. Braden Donnellan as one of the 3 goals. Second quarter coming up next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
Varsity Media offers live streaming, videography, and photography services for all teams and individuals of all ages. In business since 2010, we are the trusted source when it comes to sports media coverage. If you have a big game that needs to be filmed or live streamed, or an athlete in need of action photography, reach out today and save 15% when you mention this ad. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Second quarter set to begin. Plainedge with a 2-goal advantage over Carey, looking to move up in the Class CD standings. And you know what you're getting out of Manhasset and Cold Spring Harbor, but Plainedge with a win would be 5-3. Carey would fall to 5-4. Wantagh with a few games in hand, but either way, big implications for both Carey and Plainedge here today.
For sure. They have to be continuing 4 quarters of lacrosse. I know both coaches are probably preaching the little things right now. We've both made a couple mistakes that are costing us, and we don't want those to come back and bite us at the end of the game. So let's clean it up a little bit. We're settled down now. This game matters, so let's get focused.
Tom Aiello leading the charge on senior day for Carey. Some double duties as MC, Master of Ceremonies, and sees his team with a 2-goal disadvantage against Plainedge, who got off the bus, completed their warm-ups, and have been firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, Plainedge came out hot, and but the way this first quarter went, I think it could easily be 3-1 the other way too. So I'm sure that Coach Ayel is not thrilled with some of the execution on his team and probably expects better out of them. So that's probably what he's preaching and wants to see a turnaround a bit in the second quarter.
Good face-off win by Ben Rose, awarding possession for Carey to start it off. Mike Verderosa was the only goal scorer for the Seahawks as they turn it over. It was Braden Donnellan, along with Travis Aquilino and Caden Mora, tallying it for the Red Devils in the first.
Great play by Dominic Moscato there.
And there's a bouncing goal as well. Owen Donnellan, his second consecutive point, 4-1 Red Devils early in the second.
And this one here was started by Domenico Moscato. He got that ground ball on the defensive end, big play, legging it down, and you see here getting the ball right in the hands of his offense, doing his job, getting it to the guys that can put the ball in the back of the net. Simple little move the ball, coming down right down the heart of the defense, let it ride, and Owen Donnellan burying it. Great shot.
I think he was also surprised nobody came and picked him up, so he took a few extra feet and was able to rip the goal past Metzger.
Absolutely, you saw him do kind of a little double pump there, kind of expecting the slide. They held, and that's the rule as an offensive player. They don't come to you, let it go.
Plainedge gets possession. That's Jake Anglem, the junior. And now floats it up top. Matt Berry. As the Red Devils get set to go, this is Mora.
Coach Ancona has to be happy with the way this has started out for them. Plainedge is doing a great job off the ground. And in these type of games where you got two towns, especially Plainedge, and they're blue collar style towns, and they're going to grind it out. They're going to be physical. They're going to be chippy. So the ground ball war is going to really be key to winning this game.
Jack Murray, the workhorse in the midfield, and someone who has really grown a lot. As Metzger got a piece of it, it'll stay with the Red Devils.
Yeah, I like that dodge by Murray, real rangy dodge. He had a stick up in his arm, and, a lot of guys will pull out of the dodge and move it, but he kept going, actually got his hands pretty free and almost created something there.
Denied. Metzger on a point-blank save. The Red Devils came charging in as Carey looks to clear. Metzger standing on his head. Keeps the Red Devils off the board.
Huge save by Metzger. He's really playing today. He's dialed in.
And it leads to a goal. Carey responds. And just exactly what the doctor ordered. As Ethan Pelzer, the freshman, gets the goal on senior day. And that makes it a 4-2 game.
That, in my opinion, that starts with Metzger. Huge save. He's playing like a senior, not a sophomore. Get the ball down the other way. They clear it real nice there from James Ganone. And just move the ball, bing, 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 right there to your freshman, number 29, Ethan Pelzer. Puts it in the back of the cage. Big finish.
Pelzer's 16th goal of the year, 35 points as a freshman. And more importantly, keeps them at pace with Plainedge. And Ben Rose, second face-off win of the quarter. Whistle and a quick timeout. Taken on the other side. I believe that was by Carey. But either way, Plainedge with a 4-2 lead over Carey in a game that has huge playoff implications. And today's broadcast, of course, also sponsored by BTB Lacrosse. Tryouts have begun. Full year commitment to player and team development. 2 practices weekly, 6 to 8 tournaments per year. Team events and fundraisers, guidance with college recruitment, speed and agility program, face-off and goalie training, which you can never have enough training if you're a face-off or in the net. Team Zoom meetings, breakdown of lacrosse games to further the IQ. So you see class of 2030 to 2027, a 2-day tryout taking place July 17th and 18th. And if you want to register at www.bethebestli.com. Going all the way up to class of 2035. How about that? And then on the girl side as well, 2020 Or no, check that. 2031 all the way to 2034. That just goes to show how old I am now, too. But early bird and a sibling discount available for tryout registration. BTB fosters a competitive environment focused on player and team development. We build your players around a belief in hard work, consistency, discipline, and perseverance. Our training, knowledge, and passion come with us to every practice. BTB is all about girls reaching their highest potential. Once again, www.bethebestli.com. Early bird registration ends this Memorial Day.
Yeah, there's been a lot of travel teams on Long Island, of course, and everyone always talks about the Express and Team 91, and the big ones that everyone sees, and Igloo. But Be the Best, I'm hearing more and more about them, and that they're starting to make some more waves. So definitely a program on the rise as far as the travel game, which is so crucial to the advancement of the younger youth level and getting those looks at college. You used to see, back when I was at Plainedge, there was actually college coaches in the stands on occasion. Now they go to the travel game. So important to partner with the right, travel program.
And BTB personalized training gets your player to the next level as well. And that's exactly what you want, because I don't have to tell you, John, that every player is different. The makeup is unique, and BTB specializes in helping bring your next player to the next level at any age.
Absolutely, and that's what you need. There's so many travel programs out there. It's really easy for any player to get kind of fallen through the cracks and lost in the sauce. So getting with the right coaches and the right program that'll develop you, and not just have you thrown out there in the summer to play some games. It's key.
Carey trying to get back into this game. Down 4-2. Still very early, obviously. 9+ minutes to go in the second quarter. But one of the keys for Carey themselves was to dominate time of possession. They're just looking to put a few behind the back of the net. As the pass was deflected on the long pole, and Plainedge takes it away. And then a tumble and a few flags. And some extracurriculars as well, as Chadwick had the stick in on Verderosa.
Great stick by Matt Chadwick there before the infraction. Sitting there in good position. And I love a defenseman that doesn't start lunging and get out of position to try and knock the ball down. Defensemen love to pick off the passes and run the other way, but the way Chadwick did that, he sat in that position, feet were in the right position, but just extended his stick just a bit, right in that lane, knocks the ball down, and gives his team an opportunity.
That was Kozlowski, and looked like Obertus. But either way, now a man-up opportunity for Plainedge. As Obertus is off for the Seahawks. And here come Plainedge, leading 4-2 and a chance to bring up another goal and another lead. Owen Donnellan swings it up top. Five seconds to go in the man up. Pass goes awry. And the man up is over.
Yeah, it looks like Travis Aquilino was available in there. Plainedge started out 1-4-1, then carried up to their 1-3-2, it looked like, and Aquilino looked to be available, and just the pass was a little bit errant through those skip lanes.
Metzger bounces off of Mora and Donnellan. As the ball gets across, and that's Matt Metzger deferring to Verderosa.
Yeah, Carey here, down 4-2. This possession matters. They need one to close the gap a little bit. So they're slowing down, getting into their offense, going to be methodical. As you've said, they want that time of possession. That's real important. Don't let Plainedge get any momentum and then go on any runs and get this ball right back in the back of the goal.
Pelzer swings it to Todaro and finds its way out to Kozlowski. Verderosa accelerating in fourth gear. Can't get past the slide. And Carey from X.
Yeah, right idea to pass the ball there. Plainedge actually had three guys covering the ball for a second. You're not running through all three of those.
Nowhere to go for Kozlowski. Good defense by Murray. Now it's Metzger.
Yeah, Jack Murray, great defense there. I love seeing a short stick take pride in the defense and getting physical. Great defense by Murray.
Todaro. And Kozlowski. Kozlowski, 19 points coming into today. 8 goals, 11 assists. Someone who, if you give him some space, he'll rip a shot from in close, and the shot whistles wide. Chris Obertus looking for his 30th goal of the year. And Plainedge out-hustles and wins possession.
Santa Croce with the hustle. Every goalie loves to be able to make an impact on his team there. Chase out of bounds, and for all the lacrosse fans that aren't familiar, after a shot closest to the ball there as it goes out, gets possession. Great hustle by Santa Croce.
Going to Limestone after today, a 3-year starter in net for the Red Devils. Almost at the midway point of the second quarter. Both teams just looking to get a shot on net. Plainedge turned it over their last time down on a tight pass to the side of the net, and looks to tally here. Mora dodging. Murray swarmed. Keeps the ball. Good pick by Owen Donnellan.
I have to tell you, I'm impressed by Murray. We just saw him getting physical on the defensive end. Now he comes down here, dodges into the teeth of the shark, trying to create an opportunity for his team. And I know Coach Ancona feels that if he's on defense there, they can put the pull kind of on someone else. He gives their team opportunities because of his athleticism and strength, and now he's down the offensive end grinding it out too. Great player there, great play by Murray.
Braden Donnellan's shot goes wide, but it stays with the Red Devils. And Murray, just a high motor, someone that you have to drag off the field, but he's so versatile and can do so many things well and has really adapted to his role in his senior year for the Red Devils. Mora. Donnellan from X creeping up off the high pole. And Carey picks it up. That's Lazinski, the sophomore. And a whistle and a timeout taken by Carey.
Carey played good disciplined defense there. They're not giving anything easy. You know, I think Plainedge probably needs to move the ball a little more there, trying to get that defense moving because they are disciplined and they're not going to give you anything easy. You saw that there. A little feed over the top gets knocked down pretty quick.
And with that, take a look at the Long Island boys lacrosse rankings. They're fresh off the presses. St. Anthony's, Mount Sinai, and Chaminade. How about Mount Sinai moving up to the 2 spot after Manhasset fell to Chaminade? And interesting to see that Mount Sinai goes into 2, but obviously they're undefeated, so that helps. St. Anthony's the best team in the nation, so they're not unseating them. Connecticut and Farmingdale could be a preview of the Class A championship, and boy, that would be a fun one. We've got Garden City, Bayport, Blue Point had a good overtime win, and the comeback that you saw a few weeks ago, Northport against Half Hollow Hills, that could be a potential playoff matchup. Southside Port Washington. How about, you know what, we were talking about this the other day. Port Washington, it seems like they've got a crate's worth of sophomores and freshmen on their team. They're just so young, but Isaac Neal has gotten them to play at the right time, and they're in the poll for a reason, and they've been fantastic this year, 10 wins. And I know that I just had a bunch of word vomit, but John, your thoughts on the poll thus far?
I like the polls, and I'm sure Mount Sinai has probably been sending some emails or some Instagram messages about their rankings, and they're in that 2 spot. I think that's more than fair. They've earned it. And Chaminade and Manhasset, having them 3 and 4, I think that makes a lot of sense because they're separated by really 1 goal with a minute and a half. That game was a war, and those teams were so evenly matched that I think it's really fair.
And Farmingdale with a statement win over their rivals, Massapequa, who close after the first quarter and then just outscored them 11-4 over the final 3 periods.
What a win for Farmingdale. That was just impressive. The way they took control of that game and ran with it, and that is a game that you put that in your hat and you're rolling into the playoffs, feeling confident, knowing that you can do that to just about any team that you're going to face.
Caden Lennon 6 goals, and Brendan O'Keefe with 7 points. Nice save down low, Santa Croce. As Verderosa was knocking on the door, fight for the ground ball. Plainedge retrieves. And another timeout taken by the Red Devils, and we'll take it with them as well. 4:09 to go in the first half. It's a 4-2 lead for Plainedge over Carey on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
Are you a local business looking to advertise? Well, Varsity Media is the perfect place for you. We offer affordable rates both inside our live stream broadcast and through our social media channels. With coverage all over Long Island targeting the 16 to 54 demographic, why not take advantage and advertise today? For pricing and inventory availability, contact us today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Plainedge with a 4-2 lead over Carey, almost late into the second quarter. He's John Geegan, I'm John Perez, and John, what have you seen out of the Red Devils in the first half that has allowed them to have success?
I think time of possession has been really important to them. Carey in the second quarter definitely kind of closed that gap in time of possession, but Plainedge to me is winning the ground ball war. They're executing some of the shots. They're playing good defense. You know, even right here, you see number 10 there, Owen Donnellan. What he did, he kept the shot down the alley. So you have a good goalie like Santa Croce in there. What you need to do is allow that goalie to have an impact on the game. And I think both goalies are playing great today. But what happened with Santa Croce is Plainedge is putting the offensive Carey in spots that Santa Croce can make some saves. And that is absolutely key to winning the game. You allow in tight shots, it's going to be tough all day no matter who's in your net. So really like the defense Plainedge is executing there. But I also, on the other side, you know, Carey's goalie Metzger, he is playing like a senior. I've seen some highlight reel saves are ready, and we're, you know, a quarter and a half into this game.
Yeah, Metzger's been fun to watch. He's only a sophomore coming into today with 136 saves. And his team on defense now against Plainedge, trying to keep this a 4-2 game, at least for this defensive sequence. And this is Murray. Braden Donnellan hanging with TJ Wakely. Wakely usually gets the assignment on the number one attackman for Plainedge. And it's really just a matter of picking your poison between Mora and either of the Donnellan brothers. Owen Donnellan slips it over to Moscato. Now back up top, it's Owen Donnellan again. Mora. Behind the cage. Braden Donnellan looks to create. And good defense by Carey. Just over 3 minutes to go in the first half.
Really like number 18 at the top of the defense there, Billy Koutsambaris. He, his stick's always in the lane, and Plainedge keeps looking through, but he seems to keep getting that stick in the pass lane, so Plainedge isn't able to skip through and get those opportunities they want.
And Aiello is saying that he's always been a physical player and has taken that to another level this year. Verderosa shot in front, and Donnellan's shot goes wide, or check that. That was Moscato. Stay with the Red Devils. 2:38 to go in the first half.
Yeah, great look by Caden Moore down there into Moscato. The slide came right off. Crease opened up. He knew that the slide was coming to him, so he looked right through like a disciplined offensive player does. Gets the opportunity.
Over the top, Owen Donnellan overpowers for the goal. 5-2 Plainedge as Donnellan continues to tally up the stat sheet. His second point of the day. Red Devils lead it by 3.
Yeah, again, I'm going to say his name, Caden Mora. Great feed. He's feeding from the wing and up top, which is really impressive. And all he's doing, he obviously sees something happen in Carey's crease defense there, so he carries a little bit and then looks in the crease, sees it open up, and then buries it. Makes the feed, and then they bury it.
Ben Rose and Matthew Perry on the faceoff as Rose wins another one. Rose has been pretty solid in the faceoff for Carey thus far.
And I know it's a focus of Plainedge's. They don't have any one stud faceoff guy like some of the other high school programs on Long Island do. So they've been doing a couple different things, a couple different strategies, adjusting to it, kind of faceoff by committee. So that's definitely a place that Carey can chase to try and pursue to create some opportunities for themselves today, because if you could dominate the faceoff X, you prevent a team from really gaining that momentum and not playing that what I call the make it take it lacrosse.
Kozlowski. You can really see the Plainedge defense spacing out Carey, not giving them a window to either pass or get an open shot.
Yeah, I like Carey is opening up their offense for sure, and Plainedge isn't packing it in. They like their man-to-man defense today, so you're seeing them extend the field, get up in their face, and not giving Carey tons of room to work with.
Metzger gets awarded the flag, but he's got to go. It's a free possession, but late in the second. They'll have to dodge. Now a slip pass. Kozlowski. Near side to Todaro. Under a minute to play in the second. Todaro, jump shot wide. Goes out of play. Penalty upcoming.
I like that take by Todaro. You know, flags down. You got a free look at the cage. He goes straight speed dodge, coming around the net, turns the corner, fires it just wide.
So the hold against Jake Anglem. Take another look. Anglem. Yep, right there underneath the far side. So there's right arm.
Yeah, nothing crazy or flagrant, but you can't get up underneath his arm. It is a hold. You have to let the offensive player, can't impede his playing there like that. So there's your hold, and it's a man-up opportunity for Carey.
.30 seconds to play. Todaro.
Plainedge is shutting off back there, so it's essentially a 5-on-4.
In front, and Santa Croce again with the save, and then whips it down the far end of the field. Beautiful save. This might award possession to Plainedge. Or didn't see a call. I think it's going to be carry ball as the clock is running. Long outlet pass. Obertus. Up top. Gangone goes wide as time expires. Carey knocking on the door. Plainedge bends but does not break. It takes a 5-2 lead going into the half.
Yeah, I really like what Plainedge did in that man-down situation. They locked off Matt Metzger, so they made him play 5-on-4. You take one of the best players out of the offense. They're coming out of that huddle with a strategy, and Plainedge kind of turned it on its head, doing what I call junking it up and throwing a different look out there at them.
Red Devils love the way that they look. They're up 5-2 at the half. We'll step aside on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. The Long Island Lacrosse Showcase has been the premier recruiting event in the nation for over a decade. Led by high school coaches in Nassau and Suffolk counties, our event annually draws the biggest and best college coaches. Past participants and MVPs have been Joey Spallina, Mac O'Keefe, and Xavier Arline. Registration is now open for this must-attend summer event. Register now at lilacshowcase.com and follow us on Instagram at lilacshowcase. And coming this fall, for the first time, our Girls Showcase.
Now is the time to order a college recruiting video with Varsity Media. College recruiting videos can save thousands of dollars on college tuition and help land a spot on the team. Our videos include your best plays set to music with spot shadowing effects to help you stand out from the competition. Contact Varsity Media today and mention this ad to save 15%. Call 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net. Varsity Media offers live sportscasts for any event. Our productions include announcers, multiple camera angles, graphics, instant replay, and so much more.
Hankinson getting it back. Hankinson going in, dropping it back. The shot of the goal! That's it! That's it! Norton! Pittsburgh, the Class A champions!
If you want to enhance your event or make the experience better for your viewers, reach out to Varsity Media today and learn more about our live sportscast. Contact Varsity Media at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
Halftime here as Plainedge with a 5-2 lead at the half over Carey. And it's halftime here, and John, we're pretty spoiled here. We've got from the Carey Dad Shack their world-class lemonade. Get a good look here. Love the logo and the rest of it too. And I've been told it's a secret homemade recipe, so therefore we can't know the ingredients, which means you have to come out to a Carey football or lacrosse game. And it's not just lemonade, too. It's a ton of other baked goods. So get down to the Carey's Dad Shack, and cheers.
Cheers.
That's excellent. That is fantastic. Homemade. I wish I knew what the ingredients are. I have to, I don't know. I guess I have to speak to somebody in the booster club and maybe grease or see what's happening there. Grease them up and see what's there. But yeah, your thoughts?
It's delicious, and it's a little warm in the press box today, so a little lemonade always cools you off. But it's also, I have to say, lemonade, I'm not always a fan because sometimes it's so sweet. Not too sweet, not too, sour, whatever it is. It's delicious, and it's exactly what you want on a hot day like today.
Very refreshing, like you said, very sweet, no tart, which is also good. Fantastic yellow lemonade. So we thank all the Carey dads, the Carey Dad Shack, for supplying us here today. Fantastic. And let's finish this, and should be a good one. Second half coming up next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. The Long Island Lacrosse Showcase has been the premier recruiting event in the nation for over a decade. Led by high school coaches in Nassau and Suffolk counties, our event annually draws the biggest and best college coaches. Past participants and MVPs have been Joey Spallina, Mac O'Keefe, and Xavier Arline. Registration is now open for this must-attend summer event. Register now at lilacshowcase.com and follow us on Instagram at lilacshowcase. And coming this fall, for the first time, our Girls Showcase.
Now is the time to order a college recruiting video with Varsity Media. College recruiting videos can save thousands of dollars on college tuition and help land a spot on the team. Our videos include your best plays set to music with spot shadowing effects to help you stand out from the competition. Contact Varsity Media today and mention this ad to save 15%. Call 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net. Varsity Media offers live sportscasts for any event. Our productions include announcers, multiple camera angles, graphics, instant replay, and so much more.
Hankinson getting it back. Hankinson going in, dropping it back. The shot of the goal! That's it! That's it! Norton! Pittsburgh, the Class A champions!
If you want to enhance your event or make the experience better for your viewers, reach out to Varsity Media today and learn more about our live sportscast. Contact Varsity Media at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
Varsity Media offers live streaming, videography, and photography services for all teams and individuals of all ages. In business since 2010, we are the trusted source when it comes to sports media coverage. If you have a big game that needs to be filmed or live streamed, or an athlete in need of action photography, reach out today and save 15% when you mention this ad. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Are you a local business looking to advertise? Well, Varsity Media is the perfect place for you. We offer affordable rates both inside our live stream broadcast and through our social media channels. With coverage all over Long Island targeting the 16 to 54 demographic, why not take advantage and advertise today? For pricing and inventory availability, contact us today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. The Long Island Lacrosse Showcase has been the premier recruiting event in the nation for over a decade. Led by high school coaches in Nassau and Suffolk counties, our event annually draws the biggest and best college coaches. Past participants and MVPs have been Joey Spallina, Mac O'Keefe, and Xavier Arline. Registration is now open for this must-attend summer event. Register now at lilacshowcase.com and follow us on Instagram at lilacshowcase. And coming this fall, for the first time, our Girls Showcase.
Now is the time to order a college recruiting video with Varsity Media. College recruiting videos can save thousands of dollars on college tuition and help land a spot on the team. Our videos include your best plays set to music with spot shadowing effects to help you stand out from the competition. Contact Varsity Media today and mention this ad to save 15%. Call 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net. Varsity Media offers live sportscasts for any event. Our productions include announcers, multiple camera angles, graphics, instant replay, and so much more.
Hankinson getting it back. Hankinson going in, dropping it back. The shot of the goal! That's it! That's it! Norton! Pittsburgh, the Class A champions!
If you want to enhance your event or make the experience better for your viewers, reach out to Varsity Media today and learn more about our live sportscast. Contact Varsity Media at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
Varsity Media offers live streaming, videography, and photography services for all teams and individuals of all ages. In business since 2010, we are the trusted source when it comes to sports media coverage. If you have a big game that needs to be filmed or live streamed, or an athlete in need of action photography, reach out today and save 15% when you mention this ad. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Back here for the start of the second half at Mark Martone Field. It's the home of the Carey Seahawks, which see themselves trailing Plainedge 5-2. Alongside John Geegan, I'm John Perez, and it's been a fun one so far and a little bit of a slower pace. In this one, Carey wanted to dominate time of possession. They haven't been able to cash in, and then Plainedge on the other side, locking down on defense, initiating goals that way. A complete effort by Plainedge. What do you want to see out of Carey in the second half to try and cut down this 5-2 lead?
You know, Carey, as I mentioned at the end of the first half, I think they really need to start to, battle that ground ball war and get a few more their way. I really like the way Carey spins the ball. They definitely are moving it faster than Plainedge does, and they're creating a lot of good opportunities for themselves. So I think capitalize on some of those opportunities, finish the ball when you have a chance, but when the ball's on the ground, you got to go after it. And then also, I saw, I've seen amazing saves out of Metzger so far this game, but, Carey's had a little trouble clearing the ball, and I think that also has given Plainedge some big opportunities the other way. So they'd have to clean that up too a little bit, get those clears cleaned up, and once you save the ball, get it to your offense.
Another turnover as Plainedge tries to track it down. They can't, and Carey gets it right back. It's been a seesaw start over the first 55 seconds.
Yeah, a little unforced turnover on both sides there, so it's right back where we just started with Carey.
Carey currently in third place in the CD Conference, and Plainedge in fifth place, but has a win over Wantagh, and with a win over Carey would move them up to third place. You would assume, based on power points, behind Manhasset and Cold Spring Harbor. With the long pole, it's TJ Wakely. Wakely. Stick gets dislodged. Flags come out. And Verderosa with the free possession. Verderosa rips it and bounces it wide. He'll say it's a pass. And Carey keep it up.
Yeah, I can't say enough right there by the effort by TJ Wakely. He comes over the midfield line, and the last thing you want to do is have no one available to you as a long pull. And Plainedge did a good job. They went into a full lock there, so there was no available options. Wakely didn't panic. He ran all the way around the cage and gets the ball to his offense.
And Santa Croce once again closing the window. And Santa Croce, as a senior veteran, going to Limestone, I think so far he's passed the Geegan test, as we'll see the penalty against Plainedge.
Yeah, as a goalie, you see your defense, they got everyone locked off, and, you have the long pull in a tough situation, exactly what you want. Then all of a sudden come over the top, stick brakes on the helmet. Of course they're going to call that. So now what you have to do as a goalie, you got to make a save, and then you got to go make another one because they're coming right back after that free shot. So I really like that last save, though, with Santa Croce. He could have dipped the stick a little bit, kept it high. That's a big, shot was coming hard, stuffs it, and keeps his team in the right position.
EMO for Carey.
Plainedge back to locking Metzger back there, forcing Carey to play 5v4 instead of 6v5.
Yeah, and for Plainedge, that's Apatana Marco, but the goal goes for Carey, as they needed somebody else from Metzger, so James Gagnon says, why not? Picks up the goal, and that makes it 5-3. His first goal of the season.
Yeah, Plainedge locked Metzger last time around, and it worked, but it's tough because I think they kind of caught Carey off guard, and at halftime I'm sure they discussed it and said, hey, we're man up again. Expect the lock, move that ball quick, and get the opportunities. And you saw that there. All you had to do was get that ball back and forth, swing a bit, and you saw, Grigone there. Is it Grigone? Gangon. Sorry, my apologies, but Gangon there, moving the ball back and forth, and buries it at the corner.
So here's Plainedge. Lead down to 2.
So it looks like Gangon there on the man up there. He plays man up with a short stick and then comes back on with a long pull. That's impressive.
Yeah, someone who's versatile, could do a little bit of everything. And, you forget, too, if you've watched high school lacrosse and, of course, in the different conferences, Carey and Plainedge, if you combine their rosters, is probably the size of a Class A school. So they don't really have the numbers there, and you need multiple players doing good things. And there's a nice save underneath by Metzger. On the bounce shot, goes over the crossbar of the field goal stanchion and stay with Plainedge.
Yeah, funnily enough, I stumbled over Gangon's name because I thought I was reading it wrong because he had a long pole in his hands, and I just watched him score.
Braden Donnellan dodging. Now Mora. Mora with a goal and an assist. So far, drop back. And the heavy pressure defense, no problem for Demo for Plainedge. That's Moscato. Now inside Donnellan. This is Owen Donnellan reversing course. Up top, Mora. Shot goes wide to the right. Travis Aquilino looking for the net.
Great ground ball there by Donnellan. That was huge. Keep it on your side. And then, of course, Mora feeding into that crease. That's a big look just off the mark there by Aquilino. Tough one.
Braden Donnellan. Backing in, rips a shot and scores. How did that go through? Fantastic finish for Braden Donnellan. And that makes it 6-3 Red Devils.
Wow, what an athletic play there by Braden Donnellan. That's just doing your own thing, being quick, backing his way in, just simple little get top side, can't get there, going to go inside roll, spin, seal him off, and bury it. Takes the shot as well. He knows he's going to get a little beat up to get that one off, but he does it for his team and puts one in the back of the cage.
29 goals on the year for Donnellan. That's his 73rd point. The future Adelphi Panther. And now face off at the midfield. Just over 4 minutes gone by in the second half.
Yeah, Carey has to face off man down. You have Metzger from the attack up there on the wing, has to stay back. if he does get the ball.
Gangon gets the ground ball. Just had the goal. Might be looking for another. Gangon with the long pole. Rips it and scores! It's a pole goal! What can't James Gangon do? Defense, ground balls, and back-to-back goals, and Carey staying alive.
Just an impressive play by Gangon there. Carey gets the ground ball, fighting for it. And it's a ground ball war, like we said. That's a key for Carey moving forward. They need to get the ground balls. There's Gangon scooping it, staying on the sideline, walking the dog up the alley, coming in. No one's stopping him there, and he's going to bury it. I want to know how many high school players this year have scored with a short stick and a long pole in the same game.
Can't be many, and Gangon is one of them. So Carey with the response, just 23 seconds after the Donellan goal. And Ben Rose. What more can you say about Ben Rose in the faceoff? He's been exceptional for Carey today.
Yeah, definitely a bright spot for Carey today. And this is a place where we mentioned Carey can really take over at the faceoff X and dictate the tempo of this game. And although Plainedge sometimes struggles at the X, Carey can play what I say is that make it take it lacrosse. You score, you take it right back, and you have a real good chance to get some momentum and get rolling that way.
Well, it's been 30 seconds since the last goal, so Todaro says, let's slow it down. And receives the pass back from Korzlowski. Pelzer, the freshman, already a goal today.
Yeah, Plainedge, and again, now they're man-to-man here, and they're actually in shut-off defense again. So playing 5v5 lacrosse, again, trying to junk it up, give Carey a little bit of a different look. And it's always interesting how you play as an offense when someone, like Mike Verdosa is taken out of the game being face guarded. Do you put him in the middle as kind of a roadblock to mess things up or take him out in the corner?
Verderosa was camped behind the net. But an untimely turnover for Carey. As Plainedge will restart it with Mike DiMatteo.
Tough one for Verderosa there. He's shut off. Shot bounces right into his stick. Can't quite handle it, and it goes out of bounds.
DiMatteo over to Mora. And he gets it across midfield. Mora weaving his way through. And now camps out behind the cage. Draws Zitarosa. Feeds it. Bouncing shot just over the crossbar as Carey stands tall. Looked like Aquilino got disrupted in front, and that caused the missed shot.
Yeah, a little unsettled situation for Plainedge there. Carey does a nice job of closing up the middle, not making anything easy, and it's Carey ball.
Easy pickup for TJ Chadwick. Save was out of bounds, and here comes Carey.
Like that ground ball by TJ Chadwick. Unfortunately, couldn't quite toe the line, so it's Carey's ball, but I like that play, fighting to get it.
Flag was tossed as Chadwick comes off. 1 minute infraction. I think Chadwick's going to get called with an unsportsmanlike. Might have said something after the initial play, and that's the explanation being given on the Plainedge sideline.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Chadwick might have been a little pumped up after getting that ground ball, and ref heard something he didn't like, so it's man up for Carey.
I always think of that scene from Bull Durham. I'll have everyone out there look it up, but it's always a magic word.
Absolutely.
Verderosa swings it. Obertus. Obertus has been quieted today. Came in with 40 points. A low shot. Whistles wide.
So again, Plainedge man down, doing that face guard thing because it had some success with it. The challenge when you're doing a man down lock is you have one fewer guys in the rotation, so your poles have to be spinning quick, rotating around that perimeter. Carey moves the ball well to get some opportunities, but when you have a good goalie in there, he sometimes can bail you out of those situations you don't want to be in, but it lets you do kind of a couple different things on that man down like Santa Croce is able to let Plainedge do.
Verderosa misses wide, but good job behind the cage as Carey keeps up possession. 4.5 to play in the third. Another shot, Verderosa, Santa Croce again. He's been a brick wall. Red Devils scoop it up. And back the other way. Aquilino gives off now to Mora. And a reset for the Red Devil offense.
Definitely got to give props to the Plainedge defense there. Carey's moving the ball better than they have all game, spinning it, they're getting some looks. And like I said, your defense is forced to take longer slides. And what they did was they came actually out of that lock, went back to man as soon as they were even, and really just keeps throwing different looks at Carey so they can't get into the rhythm. Love the coaching move there and that strategy. And you're then forcing Carey to take some shots they may not always have taken, and Santa Croce's there to kind of clean it up.
Murray dodging, shoots, save, Metzger. Got the forearm in there, kept the ball out of the net, and Carey looks to clear.
I know I mentioned it before, but I love Jack Murray's play. He's a grinder, takes a great shot, but Metzger with a huge save off hip.
Fanto starting the offense, and then the Seahawks get swarmed. So they'll slow it down. Todaro with 3 minutes to play in the third.
Again, I got to point out, when you got two teams that have seniors, so many seniors up and down the roster, you should expect to see some pretty IQ savvy plays. And again, Carey has a transition situation. Plainedge swarms the ball, doesn't create anything easy. Carey recognizes it, pulls out, and sets up their offense. Both teams well executed lacrosse on either side.
Todaro down low, and an easy goal there for Obertus, as he picks up number 30 on the season. And just like that, Carey's knocking on the door. It's 6-5 Plainedge late in the third.
Yeah, I like the carry here by Todaro. And so all he does is he's carrying around. They got a little two-man game going behind. He's looking up the field, and he just sees cross crease, boom, nice little look underneath there. And what Obertus did was, as the carry was going up the field, the Plainedge defense seemed to have floated up the field a little bit, and then all of a sudden, you got Obertus just sneaks in down low behind the defense, and there's your look.
Ben Rose back to the face-off circle. The Red Devils send Jake Anglum, who wins it. And a timeout taken by Plainedge. And while we have a moment, I'd like to thank one of our sponsors today, BTB Lacrosse. Tryouts beginning for the boys' 2023-2024 season. Join Long Island's fastest-growing club, full-year commitment to player and team development. With 2 practices weekly, 6 to 8 tournaments per year, team events and fundraisers, guidance with college recruitment, speed and agility program, face-off and goalie training, team Zoom meetings, and a breakdown of lacrosse games to further the player's IQ. 2-day tryouts for the class of 31 to 34 on July 12th and July 13th. For more information, go to BeTheBestLI.com. And, of course, on the girls' side as well, 2nd grade through 5th grade, 2034 to 2031, July 10th and 11th, and the 2035 Futures one-day tryout on July 10th from 5 to 6 p.m. BTB fosters a competitive environment focused on player and team development, building their players around a belief in hard work, consistency, discipline, and perseverance. Our training, knowledge, and passion come with us every practice. BTB is all about girls reaching their highest potential. And once again, the website, www.BeTheBestLI.com. Early bird registration ends on Memorial Day. So we see now a 4-goal lead dwindling to 1. Carey having themselves a good, strong third quarter. They've outscored Plainedge 3-1, And it's really been the James Gangon show earlier on, and then Chris Obertus getting in the show. Carey's really done a 180 to start the second half.
Absolutely. Carries, you're seeing more ground balls on their part, less mistakes on the clear. I'm sure that's exactly what Coach Aiello wants. And, yeah, here you see the pole goal, as we like to talk about here at Varsity Media, running down the heart. And that's also, what our friend Dylan Butler likes to say is a juice moment, a juice goal. And that's going to get your team, pumped up and get that momentum you need going your way.
Well, we had the lemonade at halftime, so, hey, listen, when the game of lacrosse gives you lemons, right? You make lemonade. That's what Gangon's done in the third quarter, and Tom Aiello has to be pleased with what he's seen out of his team in this half. And, of course, they're not out of the woods yet. Still 2:24 to go in this one and a full 12 against the Plainedge Red Devils. Carey currently in third place in the standings. Plainedge in fifth, with playoffs right around the corner.
Yeah, interested to see how Carey plays this next one here. Plainedge is in the driver's seat. It's a big possession. The next goal either ties it. Whoever scores the next goal is big. So Plainedge needs to bury this one, but you have Metzger in net, who is hot today. So you got to make sure that shot counts, and it's a good one.
Swung up top, and now reverse back. Owen Donnellan thought about it. Donnellan with 2 goals today. His older brother, Braden Donnellan. Only 1 point for Braden, but make it 2 as he rifles a pass and a shot right past Metzger. And that makes it 7-5 Plainedge, and there's that important goal for the Red Devils.
Yeah, I really like Owen Donnellan's original play here. He dodges, doesn't see the look he wants, moves it over to Braden, and Braden simply just backs down the defense, changes direction, and that's just such a tough save to make. Coming out of you have it left hand, roll back to your righty, bury it under the crossbar. What a shot. Great shot. Great finish by Plainedge.
.141 to play. And the false start on Rose. And here come the Red Devils. It's Jack Murray.
2 big face-off wins for Plainedge right when they need it. They're polling at the face-off X because, it hasn't been successful as of late. So change it up. Keep throwing different looks, and that's a really big thing to do against a face-off guy that's beating you is don't let him get comfortable. Don't throw the same look at him because he has his strategy that's working. So change it up and make him rethink it. Plainedge is doing that, and, of course, they won the last 2 face-offs because of it.
70 seconds to go in the third. Murray matched up with Matt Metzger. Jack Murray, the spin. And now has to dish it off. Aquilino, Travis Aquilino. Near side, Mora takes a rip and whistles it wide. Stay with the Red Devils, 44.9 to play in the third.
That last one, Plainedge had the double invert going. Carey well coached, and they have actually a zone ready for that slide. And you saw the slide come, and it jammed up the Plainedge offense. They tried to move it up and get a different type of look because the double invert was zoned up real nicely by Carey there.
Owen Donnellan eyes the timer, sees that there's 25 seconds to play. Braden Donnellan swings it. Shot. Goal. A rifle from Demo. Domenico Moscato, the junior, picks up his first goal of the game, 17th of the year, and Plainedge back up 3.
Yeah, I love the play here by Braden Donnellan. Actually, check that. Sorry, Jack Murray. Jack Murray carries it, and what he knows there is that if you're playing against a zone as they were set up, the furthest look's open. Over the top, throws it there, and Demo's wide open for that look. Great shot, great finish.
Eight 8-5 lead for Plainedge. Carey needs the face-off win in the worst way, and Rose delivers. Looking for the shot. Kotsambaris goes wide. 4.9 seconds to go in the third. on the restart. Here comes Carey. Obertus with 1 second. At the horn, it goes. And they wave it off. How about that? Just a second too late. Carey thought they had it. Pelzer, the freshman, thought he had his second goal, but he couldn't beat the buzzer. And that's how the third quarter ends. Oh, so close for Pelzer and Carey. But it's been the Plainedge show over the last few minutes. What a response by the Red Devils and Braden Donnellan. You can't stop them. You can only hope to contain. 8-5 lead for Plainedge on the road going to the fourth.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Varsity Media offers live sportscasts for any event. Our productions include announcers, multiple camera angles, graphics, instant replay, and so much more.
Hankinson getting it back. Hankinson going in, dropping it back. The shot of the goal! That's it! That's it! Norton! Pittsburgh, the Class A champions!
If you want to enhance your event or make the experience better for your viewers, reach out to Varsity Media today and learn more about our live sportscast. Contact Varsity Media at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
It's been an exciting finish, especially for Plainedge, as they lead at 8-5. So we begin the fourth quarter, and this game sponsored by A&S and Severios. A&S around since 1967. Pork stores and fine foods in Massapequa. Give them a call today at 799-4332 in Massapequa. He's John Keegan. I'm John Perez. Plainedge and the Red Devils. Bending but not breaking, and neither surrendering the lead either. It was 6-5 at a moment. Chris Obertus got it to go, but then back-to-back goals. Braden Donnellan, his second of the quarter, and Domenico Moscato putting it past Rich Metzger as Plainedge at the flick of a switch. Forgetting about the tough start to the third quarter, and Ancona's crew now with a 3-goal edge.
Yeah, they're playing great lacrosse, but I think both teams are really playing some solid lacrosse. Ancona's team is just, unfortunately for Carey, had some great shots fall their way. We're seeing great goalie play on both sides. And, with playoff implications on the line, both teams are kind of playing right where you need to be. Just a couple bad bounces for Carey, I think. And Plainedge is really finishing the ball. I know Coach Ancona likes to say that, sometimes the best defense is a good offense for them. When their offense has the ball, it's strong. And you saw that in the end of the last quarter there. That's what happened with Plainedge. So both teams here, I think, have emerging programs. Carey has some history of some great players. The Spillane brothers, Nick Spillane, a great Penn State lacrosse player. Chris Spillane, a buddy of mine from Manhattan College. And Plainedge as well, growing their youth program. So both teams' programs on the rise, and we're seeing a great game because of it.
And one of the interesting things in coaching circles on Long Island is usually somebody will stay at a program for so many years. So it's a blessing in disguise for Plainedge to get someone with the experience of Ancona. 300 career wins coming over to Plainedge.
Yeah, I know he retired and to spend more time with the family, and I think the itch for lacrosse got him pulled back in a little bit, and Plainedge is, of course, the benefactor of that. And, Ancona there building the program, and I hear nothing but great things about him, so I think we'll see more, great teams coming from Plainedge in the future.
Plainedge leading at 8-5. Braden Donnellan. 30 goals on the season. Swings it and scores. It's a hat trick. He tucked it in that top right corner. And the lead grows for Plainedge. It's 9-5.
That was a ridiculous shot by Braden Donnellan. So they do the two-man game, double invert. Actually, sorry, not just one invert here, but two-man game. Carey zoned out front. Braden Donnellan picks there, but still, this is just speed. Carey gets a little tripped up. As soon as he turns the corner, he's seeing the slide and stings it under the crossbar.
It was a frozen rope. As Donnellan was quieted in the first half, but you can't quiet him for all 48 minutes. Picks up the hat trick. And Carey looks to counter.
Exactly what Carey needs right there. Get a face-off win, get rolling in the fourth quarter, get 1 or 2 in quick. I'd like to see, 22 Metzger here. He's got to get the ball in the cage. I think he's been a little quiet. Plainedge just keyed in on him a bit. We've seen him locked off here and there, but we should see some sparks from him in the fourth quarter to get Carey rolling.
And we've seen different defensive looks from Plainedge, too. At times they played man-to-man, sometimes zone. And, for a team like Carey, sometimes it's tough to adjust to that defense that Plainedge can roll out there. Yeah,
I like the strategy by Plainedge. They keep throwing different looks at Carey so they can't get into a rhythm. Sometimes you're going to say, all right, next offensive set, we're going to run this play. But all of a sudden someone's completely face guarded and taken out of the play. So that play has to completely change and get adjusted. And the next play they're ready for the face guard and they come out in their man-to-man defense. So it's a nice strategy. I say it's junking it up, constantly changing it, and it seems to be paying off for Plainedge.
Obertus gives way to Kozlowski. It finds its way behind the cage. Pelzer operates from X. Swept in front. Ball ajar. It's a foot race. And let's see who wins it. Gotta love. How about Santa Croce? I know you love that as a goalie. Out hustling the defender to get possession for his team.
Yeah, I love that play by Santa Croce. And what was interesting about that is he didn't have the position to get the ball there, but instead of creating a penalty or a push there, he gets kind of just sneaks inside there and gets the possession.
Quick counter, Donnellan off the pole, rebound, score! Right place, right time for Moscato. He nets his second of the game, 10-5 Red Devils on the road.
What a shot there originally by Donnellan, but even more so, Moscato being heads up. You see, just kind of got a trap here, so you go the opposite way, attack the opposite side of the field, which is smart. You got Murray heads up, moving the ball down there to Donnellan, rings off the pipe, and then all of a sudden, there's Moscato catching the rebound and finishing it. Unlucky for Carey, but great heads-up play by Plainedge.
Yeah, let's take another look. It hit the inside post as Murray initiated the offense, and then Moscato knocked it home.
If you're Metzger, he's playing a great game. That is just unlucky and tough for him. But Plainedge just heads up, right place, right time, and finishes.
Yeah, you have to tip your cap because even the Donnellan goal was just a perfect shot in the top right corner. And then what are the odds that the rebound goes right to the midfielder, Moscato?
Yeah, when I talk about goalie play and all the guys that I train, I always talk about, how do you judge a good game? And the key to looking at a good...
Well, and here comes Plainedge again. That's Caden Mora, and you can see what this offense can do. Plainedge, 3 straight goals out of the gate to begin the fourth as Mora making his presence felt in the second half. It's his second goal of the game, 11-5 Red Devils.
Yeah, Plainedge takes advantage of a situation that's not quite settled, so they're going to move the ball, and they kind of draw and dump, and all of a sudden, there it is, on the lower corner, you got Caden Mora. He's been feeding most of the game, takes one himself to bury it.
3 goals in the span of 2 minutes and 9 seconds for the Red Devils.
Definitely a bit of a run here for Plainedge. Carey needs to answer back here.
5 straight goals after Obertus made it 6-5 in the third. And they're awarded possession.
Trailing 6 right now. Carey's got to play offense with, a real sense of urgency here because Plainedge, we saw before, and it looks like they're back in it now. They're sitting in the zone, making you come to them, and you got to beat them with skip passes now. It's a completely different look than man-to-man. So you got to get going quick because dodging a zone is not easy.
Plainedge shaking off the rust in their loss to Cold Spring Harbor, a game in which Plainedge felt the few bounces here and a few bounces there could have been in the game as the Seahawks win that one, but this one has to feel good for them. Not out of the woods yet, but either way, a strong showing against Carey, a team that's in front of them in the standings.
A lot of back and forth.
Yeah, I was going to say hold was missed at the midfield. Diving, a whistle, and separation as a timeout was taken by Carey. And we'll take one as well. 7:37 to play in the fourth quarter. You're watching Plainedge and Carey, Nassau County Boys Lacrosse on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. The Long Island Lacrosse Showcase has been the premier recruiting event in the nation for over a decade. Led by high school coaches in Nassau and Suffolk counties, our event annually draws the biggest and best college coaches. Past participants and
Play resumes, 11-5 the score for Plainedge. Just under 7.5 to play in regulation. 5 straight goals for the Red Devils. He's John Geegan. I'm John Perez. Thanks for making us a part of your Monday afternoon and after-school special. Carey and Plainedge. Senior day for Carey, but the Red Devils have spoiled it.
Yeah, Plainedge going on a little bit of a run in the fourth quarter to create some separation. It's been a completely, to me, back and forth kind of dogfight for most of the game. First time Plainedge has really separated themselves with a couple different looks on defense and some great shooting on offense.
Korzlowski. And now it's Matt Metzger. In case you're just joining us, big game for both of these teams, both even in the conference standings, but Carey currently in third place, Plainedge in fifth place. Winner of this game by proxy would get a home game at least in the first round of the playoffs. Although for Plainedge, showing they've got no problem coming on the road. Moscato scoring 2 goals today. With 6 minutes to go in regulation.
Yeah, Plainedge is obviously in no rush here. They're going to make Carey come to them. No shot clock, only kind of the stall warning that gets put on by the officials. So I don't think we'll see Plainedge really going too hard unless there's a great look at the cage. So I have to tip my cap, as we were saying before, to Rich Metzger in goal there. He's had a great game, done everything he really can to put his team in a position to try and win.
This is Murray. Owen Donnellan on the shake and bake. Still dodging, trying to get around Zitarosa.
Yeah, with a 6-goal lead, the shot has to be perfect to take it. You don't want to give any life to Carey at this point because it's still with the way they're winning faceoffs, they can come back quick. And as I said, the tough thing about being a goalie, I've been that goalie in that net where Plainedge is just, they've stung probably 3 corners, put one under the crossbar. They're shooting well. And as a goalie, like I was saying before that goal that happened before, when I train goalies, the way to judge a good game is save the ones you're supposed to and steal 1 or 2 of the ones you're not supposed to save. Because the save percentages, the goals against averages, none of that matters if you do the right things as a goalie. And I really think Metzger has saved the ones he's supposed to, and he's definitely stolen 1 or 2 he was not supposed to get.
Carey awarded possession, and John, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit too. Both of these teams know what comes ahead of them come playoff time, either Cold Spring Harbor or Manhasset. Listen, the playoffs is when anything could happen. I'll let you cook on it in a second, but I want you to think, what can these teams do, or what have you seen today out of them that could lead to a potential upset going forward against Manhasset? And, of course, they're looking to play at Stony Brook as well, and that's where Varsity Media will be for the 2023 Long Island Championships. We've got the official pre- and post-game with coverage spanning all day long right here on our YouTube channel. So be sure to subscribe today, youtube.com/Varsity Media, live from Stony Brook, June 3rd. You don't want to miss it. Could one of these teams be playing in one of those games? Be sure to subscribe today for that coverage. So, I know it's a tall task, not to say that upsets can't happen, but what have you seen out of either one of these teams that, hey, you know what, maybe they catch Cold Spring Harbor or Manhasset on a down game, and well, you only need one, right? You can play them 99 times, but the one game that counts is the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I think what both teams, I've seen a lot of talent out of both teams today, so there's a reason you have to play the game. They don't just hand the trophy over to the team that's ranked higher, right? So time of possession is always huge. There's no shot clock in high school lacrosse right now. So time of possession, when you have the ball, the other team can't score, right? So I think Plainedge has done a good job of that. Carey at points has done a lot of that too. But the other things is kind of some of those intangible mistakes. Plainedge did a lot and threw a lot of different things at Carey today on their offensive side of the ball, changing the defensive looks that Plainedge put out there. I think Carey going forward could react that a little differently, attack that, not accept a face guard. A lot of times they had their face guarded guy go out there because I'm sure they're confident there are other guys to answer that task, but maybe mix that up, be ready for that, because there are some big names on Carey's team that if you lock them, the team feels confident about playing the rest of those teams. And on Plainedge's side, I just see sometimes a little bit of clearing that seems a little, careless, I'd say, where the ball's going up there and they could probably hold it a little longer, make a better pass, and make the clear and obvious pass rather than kind of the dangerous one. And then defensively, I really like what they've done, but sometimes they get sucked up the field a little bit when the ball's down below, and they'll open themselves up for some opportunities, and Carey definitely has made them pay for that.
So a timeout taken by Plainedge. We'll take it as well. 4:38 to go in the fourth quarter. 11-5 the lead for the Red Devils.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. The Long Island Lacrosse Showcase has been the premier recruiting event in the nation for over a decade. Led by high school coaches in Nassau and Suffolk counties, our event annually draws the biggest and best college coaches. Past participants and MVPs have been Joey Spallina, Mac O'Keefe, and Xavier Arline. Registration is now open for this must-attend summer event. Register now at lilacshowcase.com and follow us on Instagram at lilacshowcase. And coming this fall, for the first time, our Girls Showcase.
Now is the time to order a college recruiting video with Varsity Media. College recruiting videos can save thousands of dollars on college tuition and help land a spot on the team. Our videos include your best plays set to music with spot shadowing effects to help you stand out from the competition. Contact Varsity Media today and mention this ad to save 15%. Call 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net.
Late here in the fourth quarter, 4:38 to go in regulation. Plainedge with the ball and the lead, leading 11-5 over Carey on Senior Day. He's John Geegan, I'm John Perez, and right there, that man in the middle, Braden Donnellan. 3 goals today for the hat trick. Was quieted in the first half, but really erupted in the third and fourth quarter. And now Carey given possession.
I definitely want to see the replay on that. They called Plainedge offsides. It looked like the official didn't quite see who was on sides there and who was, because there was a far guy. Plainedge had a little something drawn up to get the availability there, and I think the official may have missed it, but we'll see right here. No, a little bit late to see that on the restart on the replay, but yeah, it's that was a tough one. Carey actually had their goalie Metzger at the midfield. We saw actually Manhasset do that against Chaminade to try and get the ball back, and they did this weekend. So Carey has their goalie out, and the key to that, it's always kind of scary to see the empty net, but you need the ball back and you need your possession. And I wasn't the flightest of foot back in college, so I would always, sometimes at the end of the game, go over the midfield line and get someone a little bit faster than me over there to play defense and try and get the ball back for my team.
The officials conversing, and we have to tell everyone for every game, even though we're streaming it, there's no official replay here, so it's up to the 3 sets of eyes over there. And if anybody got a better look or saw what it was, and to have some conclusive evidence to overturn the call, I can't imagine that they would, unless somebody else had the better look. And I want to say a timeout was charged too, as both teams are on their benches. But either way, we'll keep it here. 4.5 to go in the fourth quarter, and it'll stay with the Seahawks.
Yeah, it looks like it's staying Seahawks ball because no official conclusively may have seen it. The tough thing about doing kind of a savvy play like Plainedge did by sending someone on the far side over in exchange to get that guy available and free is sometimes you even fool the officials. I'm not quite sure. That it might have missed it. It might have been off by a step. An official might have got a better look at it than I did. But unfortunately, it worked out for Carey. Unfortunately for Plainedge, it goes that way.
Chris Obertus on the restart.
And the way Carey's winning faceoffs right now, it wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world to see them come back. I just want to see them jump into their offense fast, go after the goal, and try and put one in quick.
Well, I think that's been one of the knocks, too, is that Carey's been a little too selective. That could be due to the Plainedge defense that they're seeing and not getting a lot of opportunities. But they got to go. They're down 6 with 4 minutes to play.
Absolutely. You got to attack here. Get that look. Even if it's not a perfect shot, make the goalie make a save. Make Santa Croce step up and make the save. Otherwise, it goes in.
Of course, the other thing to that statement is he has done that, and he's been fantastic between the pipes for the Red Devils today.
For sure. And Plainedge clearly knows that. They're packed in this zone. Last night, anyone that watched the first round of the NCAAs, Penn State had one of the most absurd packed-in zone defenses I have ever seen, and it paid off on the upset over Princeton. But here, Plainedge is doing a similar thing, packing it in, saying, our goalie's good enough. You got to shoot from the outside if you want to score.
Bouncing shot. Santa Croce gets a piece on it, keeps it out of the crease, and gobbles it up. And a hold afterwards. It'll stay with Carey. 3:08 to play in the fourth.
Right there, though, Carey took them over a minute to get that first shot off. You need 6 of them right now to get past Santa Croce. You got to get those shots early and often right now.
Verderosa. Todaro. Far side. As Kozlowski rips it wide. 2:43 to play.
Right there, that's what Carey needs to be doing. Moving the ball quick. They're creeping in closer and closer to Plainedge's defense, making that shot every step they take just a little bit better.
Metzger drops it off from X. This is Pelzer. .2:15 to play, and this defense or Plainedge not really giving him any seams to shoot the ball. Goes off the stick. And Plainedge gobbles it up. It's Matt Chadwick, the LSM. But Santa Croce can't clear, and Metzger scoops it up. I guess as a coach, too, obviously you're always looking for areas of improvement. As a goalie coach, John, for Santa Croce, I guess the one demerit today would be the clearing for him. Other than that, though, he's stopped virtually every shot that's gone his way.
Yeah, I have no complaints about the way he's stopping the ball and the way he commands his defense. I think it's great. And I think it's not just on him. I think it's the whole Plainedge defense as a whole could probably do a little bit better job valuing that ball on the clears. I just watched that last one. Normally on the clear, you wouldn't need 2 wings on Plainedge, and it looked like Chadwick was kind of planted in front of Santa Croce there, where someone, maybe Chadwick, maybe another defenseman, should have been on that other wing. And Santa Croce was actually forced to throw the ball up the field because there was no defenseman on his wing to kind of move that ball and change fields and go from one side of the field to the other to make your offensive ride move.
Chadwick takes it away, fires down the field. And this should just about do it for Plainedge. As Plainedge smartly starts to wind down the clock. A fantastic end to regulation for Plainedge. They score 5 unanswered goals as Braden Donnellan picks up the hat trick as they curb the Carey threat and spoil Senior Day on the road. A wire-to-wire victory for Plainedge on the road, and that's exactly how Joe Ancona drew it up. And, John, positive momentum going into the playoffs with the Red Devils.
Yeah, positive for the Red Devils. This was a game where they're ranked pretty closely together, pretty evenly matched teams, and Plainedge showed that they can get rolling even without a stud face-off guy there, and put a run together at the end of the game when they need it. On the other side, Carey, I think they do a lot of good things, and you study the film, you're still in the playoffs, and study this, learn from it, and get better as you make that run.
It's now final. Plainedge comes on the road and wins it 11-5 over Carey. Moving up in the standings, and what you would assume would host a home game in the first round of the playoffs in the Class CD playoffs. So that'll do it from Carey High School. Plainedge with the show-stopping win, as this has been a presentation of boys lacrosse on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And, of course, we can't get it done without our crew. Executive producer Ben Turchin, our TD, is the immortal Chris Sweeney, Travis DeLuise, and Angelo Caiazzo on the cameras. For my partner, John Geegan, this is John Perez saying so long. This has been a presentation of Nassau Boys Lacrosse on the Varsity Media Sports Network.